This is 99% craps.
Hearts 10, hearts 10. Here's the number.
I'll take the full odds on the 10, 200 on the hard way. The limit on all the numbers, 250 on the 11. Thank you very much.
Say, you played this game before.
Just once.
Welcome to the Red Eye Gamblers podcast. High above the second largest city, west of the Mississippi. Two chronic craps players, talking craps, playing craps, thinking craps. This is 99% craps.
Coming up on 99% Craps, rolling dice on Easter weekend. Played all day on Saturday. It was cold. We'll discuss what happened, what worked, and what didn't. But first, rumor no more, there's a new table in town. Wednesday, April 27th, 2022, episode 48. The Red Eye Gamblers present 99% Craps. Good afternoon, crap shooters. It is another Friday, and we are headed to the casino for I say a weekend trip, but really, realistically, it is going to be a full day on Saturday of gambling. I think I've honed down my trip to specifically play on Saturday about 5 sessions. So come in on Friday, have fun, don't do anything on the craps table, wait until the next morning, and then play about 5 sessions Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, and then shut it down. And that's that. I think that's the right way that I want to play, and I can stay focused. I can make sure that I keep track of my rolls and keep track of my plays, and this is me saying, okay, I'm going to take it seriously, I'm going to take it like a business, and this is the way we're going to do it. And so this way I don't end up losing stuff at the in the middle of the night on Friday. I know exactly what my plan is, and my plan is to play 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then maybe 5 o'clock after that. Again, hopefully having 1 hour sessions that are successful, and, going from there. So I think the other thing to mention is we heard a rumor that there could be another craps table on property at LUABERGE, and that it could be low limit. So, but I will be there in moments to verify, and if it is in fact a real table that's low limit, then I will play on it, and I will let you all know about it. So that all being said, I'm going in with a red chip kind of mentality. I'm going to try playing with smaller bankrolls, and kind of go with the approach of either $5 minimum or $10 minimum approaches, and then have a regression play that I've always talked about using on bigger tables. But I can definitely do it on a $5 table or even a $10 table. So I think I'm going to try to hone in on those red chip plays for this weekend, and build up that bankroll, but do it on the red chip side. So I'll have a lot of that on the way back of what was successful, what wasn't successful. I'm very interested if the new table has the bonus or not, because that will be interesting if it is. So, this time for sure, since I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and scout out Friday night. I'll go ahead and go over to the Gold Nugget and get my eyes on what's going on over there, and report on both LUABERGE and the Golden Nugget. So anyway, approaching the games as a minimum better, and gonna try to play 5 sessions, and just play on Saturday, and I think that's going to be about it as far as, I guess, strategy-wise. I was going to do basically play my sisters, so 6 or 8, 4 and 10, 5 and 9, and then when I'm shooting, I'll probably end up playing all the way across. So, but I think on other people, I'm just going to be playing sisters, and I'll be playing at table minimum, max pressing on the first 2 to see if I can, do the max, press 2 times and then take it down, and win that way on those bets. So, but yeah, so I'll be going around and kind of assessing what's happening. So, it's Easter weekend. If I remember correctly, I think a lot of families come to the casino, so might be checking out the pool, might not. They do have an adult-only pool, so that's good. So there's that possibility. But so the weather doesn't look to be that great right now. It's really overcast, but it is going to be probably in the low 80s. Mid to high 70s over the weekend, so it'll be getting back to normal around here in the south, so the pool could be nice, so we'll see what happens. And then also on this additional table, and I'll probably have a session or 2 at the roll to win table, obviously, since I'm going to be playing lower limit. And actually, at the roll to win, I might actually do a $5 betting. So do my $5 and $6 or my $6, 6 and 8, and then press that from 6 to 15, and then 15 to 30, and then hit 30, and then take it all down. And so I think that's what I'm going to try to do on with a $5 limit. And then when I'm shooting, play all the way across, and then most likely, I don't know. I think I like playing $12 6s and 8s versus $6 6s and 8s. I mean, I know it's twice the money, but going from 6 to 30 versus 12 to 66. Or 12 to 60, or 12 to 42, or anything up above that from a $12 bet, versus you can't get over 30 with a $6 bet. So I think the opportunity to make a little more money on the 6 and 8 might be the $12 6 and 8 versus the $6 6 and 8. But if you're on a table and it hasn't been hot and it's cold, I mean, then you don't want to push up more money. You want to wait. When the table starts warming up, then you press your bets, But anyway, that's just, I was practicing at home, and, when you practice...
We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
You're really just practicing what you would be doing with your bankroll. So I was practicing with a $300 bankroll of, what are the different types of plays I'm going to be doing? What am I going to be doing when I'm shooting? What am I going to be doing, in addition to the pass line and odds? And that's what I do when I say I'm practicing, is practicing with, how I'm going to move and play with my bankroll. So, because you are on time limit, especially if you're playing on the roll to win. So you need to know what options you have in front of you. Well, alrighty, I am on the straightaway to get over the bridge to the casinos. So I'm almost there, and we'll just go ahead and talk to you guys on the way out. Appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Adios. All right. Good afternoon, crap shooters. It is Sunday afternoon, Easter afternoon, and I'm done shooting craps. I stuck to my plan as far as playing all day Saturday, but then I did decide to play today. And played at the Roll to Win, and then at the new table that is inside the sports book at LUABERGE. So yeah, good news there. LUABERGE has added another table, and so they've got 4 that are inside the casino, and those 4 are typically $25, and they were this weekend. I think they had all 4 working on Friday and Saturday nights late, but for the most part they had 2 tables going until it got busier in the evening. Then they opened a 3rd and then a 4th as it got later, and they were all 25 this weekend. So they never got down to 15. The Roll to Win is still $5, and the Bubble Craps.
Push the button!
The Bubble Craps is still $5. And then there's a new 14-foot table inside the sports book, the old Jack Daniels bar, the old Food and Brews. It is now the Barstool Sports Book and Grill. And so they've got the burgers and the wings and everything that it had before, and then now it has a electronic roulette table, a 2 blackjack tables, both are 6 to 5, and then 1 14-foot craps table. And in the mornings on Friday and Saturday, they were $5 because they were trying to encourage people to get in there, and then they went to $10 in the evening. So I was able actually to play yesterday for a good 4 hours on a $5 real craps table with the all tall small bonus. Now the sad part about the bonus this weekend is I did not hit the bonus. As much as I tried to play on it, I did not hit it, and so therefore, you know how that works. If I don't hit the bonus, then I usually don't do well for the weekend, and that's somewhat true. I didn't have a positive weekend, but I'm only down $150. So again, for a 48-hour trip, to be down $150, that's not so bad. But it's not what I wanted, and but it was a cold weekend. It was a really cold weekend, and I guess what was interesting is, I paid attention and noticed it was a full moon, and this weekend, so I was like, okay, I'm a little cautious, because the last time that we went and gambled and it was a full moon, I didn't have a good weekend. So I had that with a grain of salt. So I was slow playing and actually red chip playing this whole weekend. I'd never jumped on a $25 table. I was always playing $5 or $10. Actually, I never even really did $15. Just a little bit ago, I was doing $18 6s and 8s, but for the most part, I'd been running with $6 5s and 8s, or excuse me, $6 6s and 8s, or $12 6s and 8s. And I was trying to work on the positive side of things, and it was just such a choppy experience. Nobody could do really good on when I started gambling on Saturday. And so when I got there Friday, I had made the decision that I wasn't going to play Friday night, that I was just going to play on Saturday, and that I was going to get acclimated, and I was going to be all business, and I wasn't going to mess around on Friday night. And sure enough, I was able to stick to that rule, but it wasn't too hard because every single table was full. So there was really no way to get on. So it didn't matter if I wanted to play anyway. It didn't happen. There weren't any spots at all. So anyway, which, I kind of suspected. So there we go. So anyway, so I didn't play Friday night, but I did play, Saturday morning. So I was up at, 8:30 and was playing my first session on Roll to Win. And basically was just doing $300 buy-ins. And never really got around to shooting well. It's like I shot 3 times for my first session, which went from, about 8:20, 8:30 for about 90 minutes. And then I basically shot 3 times. First 2 times, the first time I shot was 4 rolls and then out, and the second time was 8 rolls and out. But my third time, that was when I actually did well, and I shot 22 times and hit 4 points. So that, since it was on the tail end of the of my session, I actually did all right, and so I was actually up a couple $100 from my $200 buy-in, or from my $300 buy-in. So I was up $200. So that was nice. But I only won on me, and I basically lost on everybody else. And so that was the story of Saturday morning and afternoon. Was tables were choppy and I was losing. I had one good shot and came out of my hole, but then from then on out, I never hit more than 1 point, and I hardly shot more than 10 rolls. So, and then everybody else at the tables were not doing well. So I started slow playing big time and just playing, a single 8 instead of my sisters, and was still losing on that. And so I decided to just change it up and started playing the don't.
Give yourself to the dark side.
On the second half, basically in Saturday afternoon, and so basically I started playing $30 don't, and then a $20 don't pass, and then a second don't pass at $10. And so basically I had $60 in play for me to win on the don't. And it started happening. There were actually a lot of times where it wouldn't go 3, it would go in less than 3, and so that was why I was flat betting and not always doing odds. Or it's not why, but I was flat betting mostly, and then it wasn't until a little later that I was up a little bit, that I started putting odds on my don't pass bet. Typically I just do flat bets and I don't do odds, but this table was so bad that it wouldn't even go a couple shooters for me to get a double of don't comes up there. So in order for me to protect my don't come, I would put odds on my don't pass, and that started hitting, and so there I was winning a little bit on that too. So no, the dark side plays worked out in my favor for probably about an hour, and then the table started moving over. Then there was new blood, and then I started losing my don't passes. Once you start losing your don't passes, then the table starts to turn. So anyway, so I was able to take advantage of that, but really just didn't have a good positive experience at the table. So So once I started playing on the don't, then I wasn't shooting. And then therefore, I mean, it didn't matter because I wasn't in position either. For being a holiday weekend, it was a little crowded. I was expecting it to be not so crowded, but it actually was fairly crowded. So the tables were full. So if you didn't see a spot right away, you had to wait a while and kind of keep your eye on, who's cashing in or who's cashing out, or wait for everybody to get all pissed off, and then a whole section of the table leaves at the same time because everybody lost. But you had to keep your eye out in order to find a spot. So, but anyway, so the don't was kind of my play for most of this weekend. So realistically, I had 3 sessions where I was positive, and the very first one was the one I did well on, and then the 2 after that, I ended up getting into a hole. And then that's when I changed over and started playing the don't.
You underestimate the power of the dark side.
So the strategy this morning, though, was back to the positive. I didn't worry about getting in the middle of trying to start off Easter Sunday on a downer and be negative. So I decided to play positive, and then really just slow played. And I was at the roll to win table, and actually a guy ended up hitting 46. He hit 46, and I was on the bonus. And so my $5 bonus bet gave me $150 for the shooter hitting 45. 45 paid 30 to 1, and so I had $5. So that was a nice kick this morning, and then I made money on his roll too. So for my $300 buy-in that I had this morning, I ended up walking with $550. So that was a nice hour at the roll to win. And then basically, after the roll to win, I was waiting for the Barstool Sports Sports Book to open up that table, because I was hoping for it to be a $5 table. If it's a $5 table, then I wanted to play on it because it had the bonus, it had the all tall small, and so I could do a $10 pass line bet and a $5 tall and small. And that'd be the minimum. And they were still doing 20 times odds, so technically you could have put, $200 on it for odds behind your pass line, your $10 pass line bet. So anyway, I kind of liked it in there. The other thing is, I guess it's because it's part of the restaurant. It's no smoking, and so that's different. I think nobody really noticed it, but I did. In the casino, there's actually quite a bit of cigar smoke. I'm a contributor to that too. But at the tables, there's a lot of guys smoking. So that was one thing that was different, is that there was really no smokers. No smoking. So that was kind of nice. So I wonder if people will pick up on that or not. So, but it sounds like I talked to a couple of the dealers, and they said, they've had the table in there for about 3 weeks. And so, so the last time I was there, which was for the Final Four, they didn't have it there. So basically they put it in the week after. And then they've got the low limits in there in order to attract people and to let them know it's in there. And I would say it probably won't take long for that to go from a $5 minimum to a $10 minimum and to being $15 in the evenings. Because the other thing they're talking about is right now it's a 14-foot table, and it's kind of in the middle of the room, and so you've got people walking on either end. So they're talking about putting in a 12-foot table so they can get a little more room in there. And what that's going to do, though, is it'll reduce the number of spots at the table. So it'll be a tighter table. So it's going to be closer to 5 or 6 on an end as opposed to 6 or 7 on an end. So I guess it'll be necessary, but it'll make that table crowded. And at the same time, I think, it'll justify raising the minimums because it'll be full. So, but I do like playing in there. The TVs are big and huge and everywhere, so that's really nice. And they've got the sound to the sports games on, or at least they did for while we were in there. They're doing NBA playoffs. So overall, it was a good experience. But I didn't really shoot very well other than the very beginning. I never hit the bonus, so therefore I'm losing $50 to $75 every time I shoot, and then trying to make it up on other shooters, and that's just really tough to do. So had a good weekend, just couldn't hit the bonus, and really just then never had a good streak of rolls. There were just a couple of shooters that had some good rolls, and then so I made some money on them. But the longer they go, the more I reduce the size of my bet. I reduce my exposure. I don't keep up my $42 6s and 8s. After he's rolled 20. Usually I'm like sitting between 12 and 18. Because I've already taken down. But I'm playing with house money. It's just I try to reduce my exposure to the 7 as much as possible, and so I make money, but I don't make a lot of money. And so that was kind of the hiccup that was happening. Is on those good rolls I made money, but I didn't make killer money. I guess really the only time I make killer money is when I'm on my own or betting on myself, because I'll keep my bets up there. Because I've got faith in myself that I'm going to roll, but then again, I get busted all the time. So, I guess it's that way in my mind. So, but yeah, I had one shooter this morning who rolled 46 on the roll to win, and I was on the bonus, so that was really nice. And I had a guy that probably shot into the 30s. I shot once I hit 22 on the roll to win. I hit 4 points that time. I hit like 3-4 points, maybe one other time. But other than that, I didn't shoot well, and so therefore I was never I never really worried about getting into my spot at the table. And so if I wasn't in my spot at the table, I just passed the dice. And so I basically didn't shoot much this weekend because I didn't do well. So yeah, like I said, when I was playing the don't in last night, I didn't shoot at all. And I guess that's the other thing to note is I didn't stop. I kept playing until about midnight. So, I got in enough shooting at the casino where I necessarily didn't need to play this morning, but. In the scheme of things, I'd crawled my way back to being only down 300, and so I wanted to play again this morning. And so, sure enough, I was able to win this morning. So, was on my way back to breaking even. I had a session on the roll to win this morning that I won, and then I had another session on the table in the sports book, and was not able to maintain. Was able to basically, I lost $100 or lost like $75 or something like that. So, so overall, I'm only down $150 for, like I said, the 48-hour trip. So I'm not too disappointed. It's a whole lot better than being down 800 or more, which I was. Chalk it up to another good experience, and got to really have fun and play a lot of craps at a lower limit table. And I think that's what ended up happening is I was able to maintain at that $5 and $10. So I played longer at the craps table. And then, yeah, I had some fun playing on the don't come.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
And yeah, I ended up having an all right trip. So going back in another 4 weeks. I think for the most part I've decided to do monthly trips. Price of gas went up, but also, it's kind of, I think that's good enough for me to try to, it's good enough for me to try to come out here as opposed to every other week. It's like if I focus on just one, 48-hour trip, that's enough. As opposed to two, 24-hour trips. So I like doing one trip. So I think that's going to do that for the future until we do something special. So, like a New Orleans trip or a Biloxi trip. So, or even maybe an Oklahoma trip. There's we could hit Shreveport and, well, no, I don't think so. Actually, now think about that. I heard Shreveport's actually about 4 hours east of Dallas. That's even further than Lake Charles from Houston. So, but anyway, who knows? Who knows what's be up our sleeves? But Lake Charles seems to be hitting the right spot. So I did walk over to the Golden Nugget and took a look at their tables, and in the morning they typically just had one table working, and it was a $15 table. When it got later in the afternoon, they opened the crapless table. That was $15 also. And then in the evenings, as they get later, they'll open up a third table, and that'll either be 15 or 25. And then as it gets later in the evening, they'll open a fourth table, and that's usually either 15 or 25. So in the daytime, I saw them all being $15, whatever tables were open, and then the evenings there were 15, and then a couple of 25s. And I think that was kind of the way that was gonna be over there for a while. They only had the 4 tables working. They didn't have 6 working. So, even though I say it was crowded for the weekend, it wasn't really crowded. You did see spots in other games, but craps was fairly busy. The craps tables that they had open were all full. So, let's see. So yeah, so I ended up, I had some money left over from a trip before, so I jumped on a table and tried to play the 5 and 9, and, played for about 20 minutes or so, and basically lost the $30 that I had at a $15, two $15 bet type deals. So anyway, it just didn't feel the vibe, and never really saw an opening at a table, so didn't really worry about playing over there again. So still haven't had a lot of time or experience at Golden Nugget. I used to like those tables, but geez, I just can't find an opportunity to play over there. Not like I can when now there's 6 tables at LUABERGE, and they're all working, versus there's 6 tables at Golden Nugget and only 3 of them are working, or maybe 4. But no, LUABERGE is turning definitely into a craps casino. So I dig it. But actually didn't really run into any old school regulars, so maybe that's another reason why nobody had any good rolls, is because it wasn't any of the guys that I run into. So, but I'm also going to blame the full moon. I think I caught that one too. So maybe the full moon's not really that beneficial because the don't ended up working. So maybe I think about more don't strategies when there's full moon out. So we'll work on that for next time. And then, you know, now that I'm doing monthly trips, maybe that'll fall into a lunar cycle of some sorts. Maybe. So, all right. I think that's going to do it, folks. I really do appreciate you guys sticking with me, listening to me as we do these little ventures to and from the casino. I enjoy it, and I hope you do too. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Be kind out there, and we'll talk to you later. Adios. Coming up on our next episode, my May weekend trip. Even more focus and more discipline. Gotta be a man with a plan. The Red Eye Gamblers, thank you for your time, and hope you got a little something out of this week's podcast.
Here's to rolling sevens on the come out, and may your sixes and eights always be hard. Cheers.